Hello lads and ladies, you're watching Football Daily, and yes, it's that time of the week again, it's transfer talk. With the transfer window opening again in just 41 days, it really is getting close now. We will be covering all the latest rumours from around Europe. But if you hear any transfer rumours yourself, remember to tweet them in. To do so, make sure you're following us on Twitter and tweet #TransferTalk to me at DoogieFFTD or the Football Daily account. Also, as ever, make sure you like and subscribe. We kick off this week's roundup with a pretty surprising rumour from a usually reliable source. The Times have been reporting that Juventus are currently compiling a dossier on Marcus Rashford, with a view to potentially signing him in the near future. The 21-year-old has 2 years remaining on his current deal with his boyhood club, for whom he has played 136 games since his debut in February 2016. But this year he has only played 479 minutes of Premier League action, fewer than Juan Mata, and he's scored as many goals for England as he has for the Red Devils. It's not only his lack of game time that is being scrutinised at the moment though, with Jose Mourinho's treatment of the young star also being questioned, having described his player as sad after their 3-2 victory over Newcastle last month. Rashford appeared as a substitute in United's victory over Juventus earlier this month, and it's being reported that their hierarchy are now doing background checks on his character. With Ronaldo, Cuadrado and Mandzukic all over 30, continuing to look to the future is not a bad idea for the club. It seems highly unlikely that Rashford would leave Old Trafford, but if Mourinho stays, the 31-capped England star, who has only made 38 Premier League starts under the Portuguese in 3 years, may be looking for other opportunities. What do you guys think of this potential move though? Paper talk or a real possibility? Let us know in the comments below. It's not all bad news for Man United fans though, as it seems like the club have learnt from the errors of last summer. That's because Italian paper La Repubblica, backed up by an Argentine broadcaster, are claiming that Man United have already had an £80 million bid for Kalidou Koulibaly rejected, with Napoli holding out for at least £89 million. The 27-year-old Senegalese international only signed a new 5-year contract with the Little Donkeys in September, but such is Jose Mourinho's desperation, he is willing to make Koulibaly comfortably the most expensive defender in football history. Man United have already conceded 21 goals in just 12 Premier League games, just one fewer than 19th place Huddersfield, and badly need a top-quality central defensive addition. For a little bit of context, it took them until the 5th of March for them to concede the same amount of goals last year. Koulibaly would be a superb signing. Since joining from Genk in 2014, the 29-capped international has made 180 appearances and emerged as one of Europe's outstanding centre-backs. Now, we are probably thinking like you. When it comes to United and centre-backs, we'll believe it when we see it. But with 2 sources claiming they are going full throttle for this one, could they finally get one through the door? Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Now we take a trip south to London, where Arsenal are enjoying themselves at the start of this season. Unbeaten in their previous 10 league games, albeit having drawn the last 3, only 3 points behind Spurs and already out of their Europa League group, Unai Emery can be reasonably happy with his work so far. Now the club are being linked with a highly promising young Spanish player, 22-year-old Villarreal star Pablo Fornals, who is capable of playing on either wing or as a number 10. Fornals, who has been capped twice by his country, only joined the Yellow Submarine last summer, but has since emerged as one of Spain's best creative talents, with only Leo Messi providing more than his 13 assists since the start of 17-18. This year, despite playing in a struggling Villarreal side that is currently languishing in 16th, just a point above the relegation zone, Fornals is still churning out promising numbers. His 2.5 shots per game would be the best in the Arsenal squad, and his 1.5 key passes per 90 is only topped by Mesut Ozil out of Emery's current charges. With Fornals' release clause set at just £17.8 million, Emery could fund the vast majority of this transfer by selling El Neni, who he is keen to get rid of for as close to £50 million as he can get. An incredible bit of business if they can get it done. Eric Bailly's time at Man United has been topsy-turvy to say the least. He initially impressed after his £30 million move in June 2016, making 38 appearances as United won an EFL and Europa League double. But last year, 2 separate injuries saw him miss 26 games, meaning that this season needed to be a big one for the 24-year-old in order to re-establish himself at Old Trafford. But so far, it really hasn't worked out for him, with a 33-capped Ivorian limited to just 3 Premier League starts so far. In fact, since getting subbed off after 19 minutes against Newcastle with his side 2-0 down on the 6th of October, Bailly hasn't played a single minute of football, failing to even make the squad for the last 3 Premier League games. It seems almost inevitable that Bailly will leave the club if things don't drastically improve, and although both Arsenal and Spurs have been linked with the player in the past, the Daily Mail are claiming that PSG have now expressed an interest in the player. Although club captain Thiago Silva is now 34, they have Marquinhos, Kimpembe and Thilo Kehrer on their books, who are all 24 and under. Despite the fact his CEIS valuation has dropped over €20 million in the last 7 months, Bailly's age and potential would ensure he still costs upwards of €30 million. Would PSG spend this on a player they don't really need? When their fullbacks need urgent attention, we somehow doubt it. But nevertheless, Bailly's Old Trafford future is hanging by a thread. On the topic of out-of-favour players, it appears that Cesc Fabregas could be set to leave Chelsea after 5 years with the 6-time English champions. The 31-year-old's contract at the Bridge is set to expire at the end of the season, and with no signs of an offer from the club, the 2-time European champion and World Cup winner will be free to sign a pre-contract with a foreign club in January. Inter Milan, Galatasaray and Atletico Madrid have all been linked with the Spaniard in the last 12 months, but Calcio Mercato claim that AC Milan have contacted him over a potential move to the San Siro. Up until this season, Fabregas had been a mainstay in the Blues side, playing in 86% of their Premier League games over his first 4 years at the club. But under Sarri, he has been limited to just 48 minutes of Premier League action, the 4th lowest in the entire squad. And although Fabregas' limited mobility has been further reduced by old father time, he still created 2.8 chances per 90 in the league last year, which is only topped by Calhanoglu in the current Milan lineup. If they provide him with enough support in midfield, Fabregas could be a useful short-term signing for the Italian giants. Despite the fact Luis Suarez is currently joint top of the La Liga scoring charts with 9 goals alongside his great mate Leo Messi, and is currently averaging a goal every 112 minutes in the league, Barcelona fans will soon have to face the sad reality that the 31-year-old, who will be 32 in January, can't go on forever. ESPN have reported that the succession plan is well underway, and with Munir out of contract this summer and Paco Alcacer enjoying his spell in Germany, there is no obvious replacement in the current squad. This has meant that the Blaugrana hierarchy are instead looking at 3 alternatives to the 104-cap Uruguayan, namely Genoa's Piatek, Lille's Pepe and Eintracht Frankfurt's Jovic, and they each offer intriguing possibilities. 23-year-old Piatek joined Genoa from Cracovia in June and has already netted 13 goals in 13 games for the Italian club. But he is still largely unproven, and his form appears to have faltered, with the Pole having failed to score in his last 5 matches. Nicolas Pepe, who has also been heavily linked with Arsenal, has gone off like a rocket this season, with 8 goals and 5 assists in 13 Ligue 1 games so far. In fact, in Europe, only Mbappe and Neymar can top his 13-goal involvements. But the Ivorian is a more natural wide man, and although Valverde could move Messi centrally, the struggles of Malcolm so far may discourage the Barcelona board from putting their faith once again in a relatively unproven wide man. The third potential target is Benfica frontman Luka Jovic, who is in the second year of a 2-year loan spell in Frankfurt. He has started the season in flying form with 9 league goals, including 5 in one game against Fortuna Düsseldorf. This form has not gone unnoticed, with bills claiming that Bayern Munich and Liverpool will offer competition for his signature. But again, this move could be somewhat of a risk, with the 20-year-old only having 17 starts in a top 5 European league to his name. As far as we're concerned, we think Barca would be better placed to conclude deals for De Ligt and De Jong before sorting out a problem with a potential one-season wonder. But which of these players, if any, do you think Barca should go for? Vote in the poll above. Right, we move on to southern Germany now, where according to the Daily Mail, Bayern Munich are considering replacing new manager Niko Kovac with former Real Madrid manager Zinedine Zidane. The Croatian start hasn't been disastrous. After all, he has won 12 of his 18 matches in charge, but they currently sit 5th, 7 points behind table toppers Dortmund. Kovac holds a 3-year contract at Bayern, but he was appointed 6 weeks before Zidane stepped down. And the feeling is that if their mixed form continues, De Rotten should sign Zidane whilst they still can. The Bavarians have made no secret of their target of winning a first Champions League since 2013. And who better to deliver it than the man who has won 3 on the bounce and knocked them out in the last 2 years. But if they were to appoint Zidane, that could mean curtains to one of their stars. 27-year-old Colombia playmaker James Rodriguez is in the second year of a 2-year loan spell in Germany, and a permanent switch to the Allianz Arena is still very much possible this summer. But bringing in Zidane, the man who decided he was surplus to requirements at Real Madrid, would surely jeopardise their chances of signing him. And Don Ballon claim that Arsenal are watching these events with interest, with a mooted price of £80 million being mentioned. Gooners, would this be a worthwhile move with Ozil, Mkhitaryan and Iwobi already at the club? And Bayern fans, do you want Zidane through the door? Let us know your thoughts as usual down below. It's time for our headline story now, and it's a big one. LA Galaxy striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic has reportedly agreed a €2 million deal that will take him back to AC Milan. According to our source Gazzetta dello Sport, the 37-year-old Swede has accepted a 6-month contract which will include the option of a 1-year extension. Of course, the 116-cap Swedish international is familiar with the San Siro surroundings, having played for Inter between 2006 and 2009 and the Rossoneri between 2010 and 2012. During his spell in the famous Red and Black, Zlatan racked up 56 goals and 24 assists in just 85 games, winning the 2011 title in the process, their last Scudetto. After scoring 22 goals and providing 10 assists in just 27 games in America, Zlatan would arrive in Italy in good form. Likely to provide backup to Higuain and Cutrone, this move seems a win-win for Milan. And it might even be completed before this video goes live, with the frontman said to be waiting for sign-off from Milan sporting director Leonardo before confirming the move. What do you guys think of this though? Is it an irrelevant money-grabbing transfer from Ibra or a potentially revitalising move for the fallen giant? And finally, we can report that two Premier League giants are gearing up for a summer battle over the potential signing of one of Europe's most promising talents. The Daily Mirror claim that Liverpool and Chelsea are going head-to-head for the signature of Dortmund's 20-year-old star Christian Pulisic. Despite being a regular for over 2 years now, this looks set to be the American's best season yet, with his club 4 points clear at the summit of the Bundesliga and with 3 goal involvements in 7 league appearances to his name. Having joined Dortmund in 2015 when Klopp was manager, surely Liverpool would be the favourites for his signature. And BVB's sporting director Michael Zorc seems to have admitted defeat, saying, "We have known these rumours for many years. We plan at least until the end of the season with him." And Pulisic has done nothing to dampen the speculation either, saying it would be a dream to play in the Premier League, and that there is no reason why one day I won't play there. We want to hear from you though. If you are Pulisic, which club would you prefer to join? Liverpool or Chelsea? Let us know down below. So that was transfer talk for another week. Please smash that like button and let me know what you thought of the stories as ever down below. I'll see you next time. Adios amigos.